Hi there, I'm Justina of Just Classical, and thanks for joining me today. I'm really excited to talk to you about how you can have an amazing year in 2023. So this is 7 steps to an amazing year in 2023. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in present mode so you can see the whole screen of the slides. I'm Justina from Just Classical, and I am so excited to talk to you about this topic. It's something I love talking about because I want to help homeschooling moms enjoy life and even thrive in the homeschool years. And why not plan ahead for an amazing 2023? So it's my hope that this training will have an immediate impact on your life. So welcome. I am glad you are here. And, this is a masterclass, a webinar, you might also call it. And so I am going to be talking for a little while. It might be up to an hour. And if there's questions, maybe longer, right? Maybe, hopefully I won't talk for the whole hour, right? But hopefully you have some questions as you're listening to this, and I will certainly have time for that. And you can put them in the Q&A. But for now, I want you to just think about focusing here and not multitasking if that is at all possible. I know we're busy homeschool moms. So give yourself time to soak in this training and, silence your cell phone, turn off your other alerts, and get everyone situated if you can so that you can spend this hour with me and give yourself that gift of focus. And if you have questions, you can put them in the Q&A and I will be happy to answer them at the end. So without further ado, we are ready to get started on 7 steps to an amazing year in 2023. Now, in case you don't know me, I do want to introduce myself. I am Justina. I'm the founder of Just Classical, and I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 who are 16, 14, and 12. And I also am a classical educator. I have used classical education in the past, and I also provide music and art resources, memory songs, and Christian encouragement for families with my courses like the Composer Detective, the Artist Detective, Thriving at Homeschool, and my Just Classical Fine Arts membership. So I've got a lot going on. And so you're wondering, wait, you just said you share music and art resources. So why are you talking about having an amazing year? Because I also talk about time management because a lot of people struggle with fitting everything in. And so it's really important for us to have time management and home management going for us so that we can have an amazing year and we can fit in the subjects that we want to as well. So now that you know a little bit about me, I'm going to ask you a few questions to see if this sounds like you. So I know we're busy homeschooling moms and we want to have an amazing year in 2023 or you wouldn't be here. But with so much to do, you feel like you just can't keep up with all your daily responsibilities and you feel exhausted and overwhelmed. Does that sound like you? Or you feel like you need 2 of yourself to take on the full-time jobs of being your children's teacher and your family CEO, in charge of cleaning and cooking, shopping, caring for the children, running around to activities, and you lose track of what you've already done because of mom brain fog. It's a reality, people. It is. Does this sound like you? How about this one? Do you feel frustrated with distractions, interruptions, and finding enough time in the day? Or does this sound like you? You struggle with taking care of yourself because you spend so much time taking care of your family and other responsibilities. Well, if any of these sound familiar, I want you to know you're in exactly the right place. And today's training is going to help you identify 7 steps to an amazing year in 2023 so that you can learn to manage all of your responsibilities and not feel overwhelmed and exhausted. Before we dive in with those 7 steps, though, I just wanted to give you a quick preview of what's ahead. So we will identify the 7 steps you need to take to prepare for 2023 that will help you in managing your homeschool, home, and time. And we'll also talk about the main difference between homeschool moms who are enjoying their homeschool journey and those who are burned out. And I'm going to share with you some hacks for how to prepare for a great year in 2023 by establishing a root system in 3 key areas: mindset management, home management, and time management. And I'm also going to tell you about my special course, Thriving at Homeschool, the Christian Homeschool Moms Home Management and Productivity course, and why it might just be the thing you need right now. Like before the holidays, we're going to plan for our 2023. That's what that will help you with. So let me ask you a question. Do we just have to survive as homeschool moms, or is it possible to thrive? Is it really possible to have an amazing year in 2023? So I'll start with this. My brother once said this: I don't want to just get through anything. I want to enjoy my life. And this quote has stuck with me for years and years. So the question is, oh, I already asked this question, right? Is it possible to have an amazing year in 2023 or in any year despite our circumstances? So I didn't talk about the circumstances. Can we have this despite our circumstances? Because you might be saying, Justina, you don't know what my life is like. It's crazy. My kids have health issues. I have an in-law living with me, or whatever is going on in your life, right? We all have different trials going on. But can we have an amazing year despite those circumstances? Can we enjoy our lives? And is it possible to enjoy the journey of homeschooling, or is it something we just need to get through? Well, let me tell you something. I have been there. I have been with just getting through. So you can see me in this picture. I'm looking pretty tired, not very happy, with a big mess behind me. So you see, let me tell you a little bit about me and my story. I always wanted to be a mom, and I actually have 6 younger siblings. I'm one of 11 children. I'm the 5th, so I have 6 younger siblings. So I usually had a baby or a toddler around to play with until I was a teenager. And I like to play with dolls, and I play with my younger sisters here in this picture, who I dressed up like dolls because they could be students in my school, right? And so these are my 3 youngest sisters plus my neighbor friend. And you can see we're playing with the babies, even the baby in the carriage, right? So I thought that being a mom was going to be like being Mary Poppins, and we would go out on exciting outings with the children every day. And what could be better than that, right? Let's be Mary Poppins. Well, obviously, I didn't understand a lot of things about being a mom and homeschooling because my mom didn't homeschool. So my mom was also not Mary Poppins. But she was a stay-at-home mom, and she appeared to have some time to herself to do things that she wanted when my siblings were at school or the little ones were taking naps. So this is my mom with my 8th brother. And my mom, though, did not homeschool, like I said, and so I did not consider the reality that homeschooling is a full-time job. And it's on top of mothering, right? And being the CEO of the home. So when I got married and started having children, the first few years were filled with fun classes and field trips. For example, I taught music classes, and I took my children with me to those, and I took them to the nature center and for the toddler times, and we went apple picking like in this picture. But when it came time to homeschool, my days lacked structure. And suddenly I realized that too many field trips or outings as Mary Poppins got in the way of a structured and consistent learning setting. I had not established a system of routines or a schedule, and I tended to wing it. Now, I'm not an unschooler, I will say that up front. So if I understood unschooling better, maybe it's better not to have structure, but for me, it wasn't working. So my second year of homeschooling, we joined Classical Conversations, and I jumped right in as a tutor and eventually a director. Now, being in Classical Conversations kept me on track with a schedule and accountability, but I was also getting worn out from all the responsibility. So each year I would get to the point of survival mode and just getting through. So, a few years ago, after being in CC for 8 years and tutoring or directing for every single one of those years, I was in major homeschool burnout. And my husband looked at me and he said, "You need a break." So, we took off the year from CC and did all our homeschooling at home, no community group. And I also began to use a planner and put better systems in place. And I was able to regain my energy and my motivation. So now I am able better to balance my homeschool and home life and enjoy life. It's not perfect all the time. I get off track, but I don't feel like I'm just getting through the school year anymore and in survival mode all the time. And I can enjoy the days and seasons of homeschooling. So that's a little bit about me, but this isn't really about me, because although your story might look and sound a little different than mine, especially if you're just starting out and this is your first year homeschooling, being able to enjoy the journey of homeschooling and thrive at home is exactly what I want for you too. I want you to have an amazing 2023. And that's exactly what this training is all about. Well, what are those 7 steps to an amazing year in 2023? Well, they're the things we need in our lives so we can have joy and thrive. So step 1 is to make time with God a priority. Now, if we want to have an amazing year and enjoy our lives and thrive, we cannot do things in our own strength. I tend to do that. So when we do things in our own strength, we get exhausted and quickly end up in burnout. The reality is that we can do nothing apart from God. So we must be abiding in His word and getting our strength from Him. Jesus says, "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing." That's from John 15:5. So God wants to revive us in His word, the Bible, and in our relationship with Him. Now, we'll find refreshments in the truths and perspectives and promises of the Bible, but even more so as we grow in relationship with Him. Developing our relationship with God reminds us of our purpose in life, to glorify God and to enjoy Him forever, as the Westminster Shorter Catechism says. And in addition to time in the Bible, prayer time is vital. We need to be able to pour out our concerns to God and lift up our children and our activities. We also are able to find perspective as we focus on praising God for His character and thanking Him for our many blessings. So if we are not spending time with God, we are doing things in our own strength. It's just that simple. If we're not spending time with God, we're doing things in our own strength, and we will quickly burn out. We will go into survival mode and we'll rob ourselves of the joy of fellowship with Him. So it's not just about not burning out, but what about the joy of fellowship with God? So step 1 to an amazing year 2023 is to make time with God a priority. Got to start there because we can do nothing apart from Christ, right? So let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is we need to set up priorities. When we don't have priorities in mind and when we don't designate some things as important, we don't know where to focus our energy and time. And if everything is important, you know what that really means? It means nothing is important. We have to have some priorities. Now, there is a powerful visual demonstration of this using rocks in a jar. Now, if you want to fill all the spaces of a jar using big rocks, small stones, and sand, what would you put in first? Well, if you put in the sand first, and then the small stones, there won't be any space for the big rocks. Yet if you put in the big rocks first, then there is space for the small rocks or stones in between the big rocks, and you can even fit in all the sand or dirt. So you can see that's me doing a visual demonstration of this there. Now, what are the big rocks? Why do we use this demonstration? Well, the big rocks are our priorities. They should be the things that are actually super important to us that we get done in our lives. But so often we fill our lives with all of the tasks that are urgent or necessary. And that's the sand or the dirt and the small stones. And then we don't have time for what's actually important. Now, if you don't know your priorities, then you will run around with the urgent and necessary things taking up all your time, and you'll wear yourself out before you can get to the important things that will actually help you to enjoy your life and thrive. So step 2, set up priorities. Step number 3 is limit your commitments. Now, I get it. As homeschool moms, we want to do it all, and we want our children to have every opportunity to grow and learn. And we may find ourselves running around from one activity to another, being Mary Poppins with all the outings, right? And maybe we're not actually at home that much. But it is unrealistic to try to do everything, and it's how we wear ourselves out. There are seasons to life, and you can't do everything at once. This means learning to say no to many things. And I know that can be hard, but you just have to do it. You have to limit your commitments. You have to say no sometimes. So it means eliminating or taking a break from activities or responsibilities, even if just for a season. Because when we take on too many commitments, we're probably not getting enough rest and we're draining our resources more quickly. We feel frazzled instead of enjoying life. So step number 3 is limit your commitments. Step number 4 is establish personal goals. As homeschool moms, we begin to let our lives revolve around our children, and we may forget to continue to improve our own lives or have goals for ourselves. If we have no goals, we will not have direction, though. We will not live intentionally. We will run around like a chicken with its head cut off. We may begin to lose our sense of purpose. And all of these things will drain our joy and our energy. So step number 4 is to establish personal goals. Step number 5, make plans and use a planner. Now, believe me, I didn't want to use a planner. I'm kind of a free spirit sometimes, but I have realized that I do much better with structure. So I did not want to have a plan and a planner. But now I say make plans and use a planner, because with all the things we need to do with our children in homeschooling and all the things we want to do with our lives, not having a plan causes us to run around in circles and feel like we're getting nowhere. So having a plan is a key to sanity as a homeschool mom. Now, in order to plan, you will need to know your priorities and your goals. This is important for personal priorities and goals, and for your homeschooling priorities and goals. So for yourself, you will need to think through your priorities and goals, and also plan monthly, weekly, and daily ways to work on your goals, and actually schedule those times in a planner. For homeschooling, you will need to look at your priorities for your children's education. What is most important for them to learn while they are at home, which is long-term learning, or this year, short-term learning. You will also want to make goals for your children, or if they're old enough, you would want to help your children define their goals for the year. This also means you will want to look at how many lessons are in a curriculum and how many days of school you will meet. And from there, you can sketch out the plans. Now, you probably want to do that in pencil because you want to write how many lessons you will need to do each month and each week, but you need to be able to be flexible to change those plans. The nice thing about plans is you are actually not stuck with the plans. You can change them. You are not there to serve the plans. They are there to serve you. So plans can be changed, but if you don't have plans, then you're not able to be as flexible. Actually, you're just running around all the time. So without a plan, we won't feel productive, nor are we accomplishing what we should. And this drains us as we try to pick up the pieces, and then we go into survival mode. So step number 5 to an amazing year in 2023 is to make plans and use a planner. So step number 6 is to put routines and systems in place. Now, do you ever get to 5 p.m. and realize that you have no plan for dinner? Have you ever had your kids say to you, "Mom, I don't have any clean underwear," and only then realize you haven't done laundry in days? Do you feel overwhelmed with all the cleaning and the meals and the laundry and drained by trying to stay on top of all those things? Well, those things can be made easier if you have routines and systems. So if we don't have routines and systems in place, we are actually wasting our mental and physical energy on the little tasks and the details of daily living. And so then we have no energy left for the bigger, more important tasks. We'll get overwhelmed with having to decide what is for dinner again. So it's important, if you want to have an amazing year in 2023, that you have routines and systems in place. And step number 7 is get enough rest and take time for recharging. Now, as homeschool moms, we get so busy that we don't take time for ourselves, even to get enough rest, right? We stay up too late getting ready for the next day, and then we get up early because one of the kids woke up early crying. So we also struggle because we don't have any of our own interests anymore. And this is a huge way to drain our energy. So if possible, we need to strike a balance between giving to our families and so fulfilling our calls as wives and mothers, and taking care of ourselves and making sure we get breaks for refreshment. Now, you know the kinds of things that fill you up. We all have different things that fill us up, right? Maybe it's time to read and write, or alone time if you're an introvert, a night out without your kids, with just your husband, or if you're an extrovert, maybe it's a get together with friends. So make time in your schedule for some of these things regularly so that you can recharge. Just as we need to plug in our cell phones for recharging each day, we also need to get enough rest and take the time to recharge our bodies and our minds. So step number 7 is get enough rest and take time for recharging. Now, how do we implement these 7 steps to an amazing year in 2023? I've given you 7 things you could just add to your life, but is that going to make you feel more overwhelmed by just knowing those 7 steps? Or how do we actually implement this? And how do we enjoy our lives in the busyness of homeschooling? Well, before I answer those questions, I want you to think of a tree, specifically a fruit tree. In order for a tree to bear fruit, it has to be a healthy tree, which is getting enough water and sunlight and nutrients from the soil to be able to grow the fruit. But what else does a tree have that we might not see and think about? Well, a healthy tree has a healthy root system. In fact, trees have root systems underground that are 3 to 7 times the size of the visible tree. And even those huge root systems, even with those huge root systems, sometimes the root system is not deep enough or not healthy, and the tree gets blown over in a severe storm. So how do we implement those 7 steps to an amazing year in 2023? How do we enjoy our lives in the busyness of homeschooling? Well, we need to establish a root system in our approach to home life that will take us from surviving to thriving. And we need a root system that is deep and healthy enough that when the storms of life come, we don't simply topple over, but we can withstand the winds and the storms, and again, even thrive. So there are 3 key areas of your home life where you need to establish a root system. And that is in your mindset, in your home, and in your time. So let's talk about growing a root system. The first area of the root system is mindset management. Taking control of your home life starts with approaching life with a perspective bigger than yourself and a dependence on God, as well as setting priorities so you are free to spend time on what is really important, as well as let go of some activities. The next area is home management. Creating personal and home routines frees your brain from thinking about everything you have to do. Helps you feel less stressed about getting everything done, and enables you to have systems in place in your home so things run smoothly. And then the third area is time management. Establishing a plan of time management involves goal setting to give you direction, making a plan to avoid wasting time and to work towards goals, and finding time to recharge so you enjoy your life. Now, when you grow a root system in these three areas, it is possible to thrive. It is possible to have an amazing 2023. Even when difficult times come or changes like an extended illness or a big move, you will know your priorities. Or you can go back and reevaluate your priorities for the current circumstances. And you will be in the habit of spending time with God for your strength. You will have routines for the basic part of life, like a morning and evening routine, and routines for cleaning and meals. And you will know how to manage your time through planning so you can easily get back on track when life throws you those curveballs. All right, we've talked about this in theory, about how to enjoy life while homeschooling, but I think it would be helpful to quickly look at a few case studies of people who have followed this process in their own lives. I think it's helpful to see these examples. Hopefully it will help you. So these are people that I have worked with who have taken my course, Thriving at Homeschool. So I'd like to introduce you to Amy. So Amy, I'm giving her as an example of a new homeschool mom. She was going to be a first-time homeschool mom, and she was looking for confidence in preparing for homeschooling and was trying to figure out how to balance homeschooling her own 2 children while babysitting 4 extra babies and toddlers. She knew she was already going to have a lot on her plate, so it would be especially important to create systems and personal routines. Well, Amy went through these steps of mindset management, home management, and time management, and she focused her perspective on Christ. She set her priorities, and so she took control of her thoughts and her mindset in the mindset management section, right? Then she worked on her home management with her personal and home routines so she could save her energy for giving her attention to the 6 children in her care. And then she was also able to implement time management as she set big goals and planned how to work on them in a monthly and weekly focus. Now, after her first year of homeschooling, Amy said, not everything went perfectly, but she was able to enjoy the year and the moments with her children rather than running around feeling crazy, because she did use this process of mindset management, home management, and time management. And let's also talk about Denise. So Denise took my course. She was a burned out homeschool mom. She had been homeschooling for 8 years and she was just so tired, kind of like me. Things were okay the first few years of homeschooling her oldest son, she said, but then she had another baby, a delightful and spirited girl. She was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at 18 months, and with her outgoing, change-the-world personality, introverted Denise wasn't getting enough sleep, and her stress levels skyrocketed. When it came time to homeschool her daughter, Denise became overwhelmed with all of her daughter's needs because she also had ADHD and dyslexia and an executive dysfunction disorder. Now, fortunately, Denise was able to get help with her daughter's schooling from an occupational therapist and a reading specialist. But 8 years of stress and much sleep deprivation had left her cognitive abilities impaired and her energy levels lacking. She knew it was time to make some changes in her personal life. So Denise enrolled in Thriving at Homeschool. For her, the biggest encouragement was in renewing her perspective and relationship with the Lord, or working on the mindset management part of it. She also immediately began to see how to make small changes and a better plan for her home and homeschooling routines when she focused on her home management. And her time management also improved as she began to use the Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner. So these days, Denise is making time with God a priority, and she has used the Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner to stay on track with homeschooling and with all the extra appointments with her daughter. She says she was able to thrive at home after taking my course. So now that does bring us to the question, how can you implement this in your own life quickly and easily? How can you implement the 7 steps that can bring you an amazing year? And how can you implement this with the mindset management, the home management, and the time management? Well, you can figure it out all on your own, right? We can figure this out. We can go get a planner. We can take the steps that Justina has just given you and say, I can do this, I can figure it out. And that is great, but I think it will take you a lot of time. It took me a lot of time to figure it all out and implement it. But another way is to let me be your guide. And I can help you go through the process, and I would love to be your guide so that you could be a thriving homeschooling mom. Now, how do I do that? How can I be your guide? Well, you can enroll in my course, Thriving at Homeschool, the Christian Homeschool Mom's Home Management and Productivity course. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this course in case you are interested in working with me through it. It is a self-study course, but it is a course that's designed to help you learn to manage your home and your homeschool in just 8 lessons so you can enjoy the journey of homeschooling and even thrive in your home and homeschool. So just those 7 steps that we go through, that's some of the stuff that I take you a deeper dive into in this course. So you can see that there are videos and worksheets and a homeschool planner, and it doesn't just have to be used for homeschooling. It's a really great planner for putting down your priorities and your goals and all those things to give you a really good chance to work towards your goals and plan your whole home and time management, whether you homeschool or not. But I'm talking to homeschool moms, I'm thinking, and so you want that homeschool planning aspect of it as well. So let's talk about what is included in Thriving at Homeschool. So it goes through these 3 processes, these 3 steps: the mindset management, home management, and time management. So there are 2 lessons under mindset management. Lesson 1 is called Focusing Your Mindset, or Eternal Perspective. So in order to thrive at home, we need to start with our mindset, or our way of thinking. And for a Christian homeschooling mom, that mindset needs to be an eternal perspective. That is the foundation of taking care of ourselves. For apart from Christ and his eternal mindset or perspective, we can do nothing, right? That's what I shared earlier. So we work on step 1, focusing your mindset and your eternal perspective and spending time with Christ. In lesson 2, we talk about setting your priorities. As homeschool moms, we need to decide what is really important and thus where to focus our energy and time. For if everything is important, like I said earlier, then nothing is important. And the most important things in our lives should be our top priorities that we are spending time on. So those are the 2 lessons under mindset management. So next is the section of home management, and there are also 2 lessons under home management. The first one is called Creating Personal Routines. So like I said before, routines help us save brain power and function well. As homeschool moms, having morning and evening routines and daily routines for other things, and checklists even, will help us form habits so we can save our energy for other things. The point is, you can't want some things to be a habit and you don't even have to think about it. It just runs itself, right? So we create personal routines. Lesson 4 is about creating home routines. So part of our system for home management is going to be having routines such as meal planning and cleaning routines so that we can run our home smoothly. And then the next section is time management, and there's actually 4 lessons under time management. There's a lot that goes into managing our time well. So our lesson 5 is on goal setting. Goals give us a sense of direction, so we live with purpose and intention. They also help with mindset, and they provide accountability, and they help us live life to the fullest. So it's important to have goals for ourselves. And based on our priorities, we will set yearly, monthly, and weekly goals. And then once we have goals in mind, we can start our planning. So lesson 6 is on planning. When we know the goals we are aiming for, we need to break them down into smaller, actionable steps. We can do this with weekly and daily plans, using a calendar, using a schedule or a planner, and of course a calendar. Now, I like time blocking. It's a very effective way to get our focus items on the calendar and actually work on them. But you don't necessarily have to use time blocking. I will strongly recommend it. But anyway, the planning is an important lesson and part of time management. And then as homeschool moms, we're going to want to talk about homeschool planning. So just like the goal setting and planning of our personal lives, when we plan for our homeschool, we will need to look at the big picture of our vision and our reasons for homeschooling and what methods we're going to use and what are the state requirements. And then we can choose the curriculum and we can break the lessons into plans over months and weeks and days. So I walk you through that, give you all the worksheets you need to do that. And lesson 8 is taking time for refreshment. As homeschool moms, like I talked about, we need to be sure to build in time for refreshment and self-care. If we do not take care of ourselves, we will have nothing left to give our families. So if you purchase Thriving at Homeschool, this is what you're going to get. You will have instant access to all the tools you need to cultivate a root system so you can bear the fruit of thriving at home, so that you can have an amazing year in 2023. You will follow a clear path through the phases of growing a root system through mindset management, home management, and time management in the 8 life-changing lessons with beautifully designed practical worksheets to help you apply the lessons right away. And when you purchase Thriving at Homeschool, you will also get the Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner. That's part of the lessons. So the Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner is the best homeschool and life planner that will help you not only manage both your home and homeschool, but get the most important things done. It is a full home and homeschool organization system. So let's talk about a little bit more about what's actually in the planner, because maybe you just want to get the planner, but I'm encouraging you today to get the whole course, because in the video lessons, I walk you through how to use all these pages, and you will be so blessed by these lessons. So the features of the Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner are undated calendars. So this is a digital calendar, so you will print it and you can start any month of the year. Obviously, I'm encouraging you to get this at this point because I would love to see you have an amazing year in 2023 by starting your planning now. That's why I am doing this webinar, this masterclass, and why I'm going to be giving you this offer of Thriving at Homeschool to buy the course as well, or the planner, because I'd like to see you start your planning here in early November so that you're not stressing about it once the holidays hit and you can enjoy your time with your family. I personally do not like to plan between Christmas and New Year's. I have in the past typically done that. This year I'm going to try and plan earlier along with you. I'm kicking myself into doing this early this year as well, because I want us to enjoy our holidays with our families. That's why I don't like planning between Christmas and New Year's. And then all of a sudden it's New Year's and we got to get going, right? I don't have time to slow down and plan. So I'm giving you these undated calendars, and you can start in January. You could start it in November, honestly, and plan the next 2 months and have terrific holidays too. So undated planners, then you can print it year after year and start at any point. And if you get off track, you just skip a month and it doesn't matter. You didn't date them all, right? All right, so next I have priorities and dreams and goals worksheets. So looking at the bigger picture of what you want to accomplish to determine a course of action for your year is what these sheets are for. There's also yearly goals. Determine your main motivating goals for this year and keep them continually fresh and visible. There's a year at a glance pages. So this is especially helpful for homeschool planning. And you'll want to establish a big picture plan with a whole year overview. Then we have the homeschooling goals worksheets. Understand your child better and look at the bigger picture by doing a current assessment, evaluating the level of independence, and determining life and yearly goals. Now, I realize that we're practically halfway through a homeschooling year, but if you haven't done this for your homeschool yet, then you'll still want to do these even for your January planning. So some of these you might not do at this point, and you might wait until next summer for the next school year, but these are the kinds of things that are included, and I just want you to see them all. Okay, and then we have the homeschool planning worksheets. So fill in these worksheets to guide your planning for the homeschool year, such as your vision, methods, state requirements, and curriculum needs and requirements, and your monthly, weekly, and daily plans. And then we have a monthly goals worksheet. So you know we had a yearly goals. Well, now in the monthly goals, you can break down your yearly goals into manageable parts to work on for the progress of your goals each month. And we have the monthly plans. So this is the undated calendar, and you can look at this to keep track of your whole month at a glance. And we have the monthly homeschool plan, where you can write what you need to do in each subject for the month, including chapters of books to read, or which book you're going to read, which lessons you're going to learn, which experiments, which writing assignments. And then to help with your home management, we have meal planning worksheets. And you can make master lists of recipes for each meal. You can create a plan of meals for the month, and you can fill in your meals for the week to expedite meal preparation. Then we also have a weekly cleaning plan. So you can create your weekly master task list for daily cleaning sessions and designate which tasks you plan to do in your daily cleaning sessions. Or you can use this as well for just weekly cleaning. It doesn't have to be daily cleaning. Then there's the weekly brain dump. Now this is an amazing thing. It just is where you list all the activities you want and need to get done for your week, so you can prioritize them, and then you can get them onto your calendar. So the weekly focus is where you choose your big focus goal for the week. And you can choose focus goals in other areas as well, and you prioritize your tasks before scheduling them on your weekly plans calendar. So it just helps to have the brain dump, and then the weekly focus, and then you also have your weekly homeschool plan, and you determine the plan for what to cover in each subject. And that would include which chapters and pages to read, which lessons to learn, which experiments, which writing assignments, all the little details for the week. And then this is the weekly plan. So once you have your brain dump, you've prioritized what you need to get done that week, you have your focus worksheet, then you can schedule your hour-by-hour tasks and appointments for a daily overview of managing your time, or time blocking with the vertical layout. All right, so this is a course to help you have an amazing year in 2023 and every year. And it is true, I get off track sometimes, but because I have these systems in place, because I have a planner, because I know how to do all these things now, I can easily get back on track. So you're probably wondering, what is the investment? I mean, with everything that's included in this incredible system, what's it going to cost me? I mean, if you shopped around, you know that a planner is usually $39 or $49. And I actually have a mentor who sells a course of home management, but not for homeschooling moms. And she sells it for $247. But the reason for these higher prices is good, because it automatically weeds out anyone who's not serious about getting results. But I also know that this is something so many of us need right now, and we'll all be a lot happier if we do our planning now for 2023. And so I've decided to give you guys a discount, kind of like a pre-Black Friday special, right? So I'm going to give you these lessons for $67, and you can go through these 8 lessons before Christmas. I want you to go through them before Christmas and get your year plan so that you can enjoy your Christmas week with your family. And it's possible to get them done even before Thanksgiving if you want to. But as you know, there's 8 lessons. And so you can see you're getting these lessons for less than $10 a lesson, plus this fabulous Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner, which helps you to go through all of these pages. So today you can join for $67. And the total value of everything that's included, as I said, is the course itself is worth $247. Now, because I like to help homeschool moms out, I usually charge $97. But you also get the Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner, which is worth $49. So the total value of all this is actually $296, probably more really, but I will give it that lower price. And today you can get it for just $67. Now, if you want to get this, what will your 2023 look like? Will it be amazing? And will it be one you enjoy? And will you thrive by implementing the mindset management and the home management and time management? Or will your life be crazy and another exhausting year that you're just trying to survive? So if you're interested in getting this, this is the, well, I just blocked it out by moving my cursor. So at the bottom is the website that you can go to purchase Thriving at Home School. Now you'll see that once you get to the sales page, that at the bottom, it gives you 2 options. So I'm offering the full course for $67. That's $30 off. The Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner, if you only wanted that, you just wanted a planner, you do have to print it yourself. It is digital. I'm not offering a discount on that one today. It's $29, but you can get the $30 off of the $97, so $67 for the full course with all the videos and the homeschool planner. And this is really going to help you. It really is. I truly believe in this course. I truly believe in helping homeschool moms and being able to free ourselves up with the routines and the time management so that we have time to take care of ourselves. It's so important, and it's such an investment in our families as well. If we're investing in ourselves in this way by learning to manage these things, that's an investment in our children and our husbands as well, because then we have time for them and we don't feel frazzled all the time. I can't promise that it will cure your mom brain fog. I think that just comes with being a mom and getting older, but it's going to help you so much in these other areas. So if you want this, then you can click on one of these buttons that says, I want to thrive at home, and it will take you to a checkout page like this. So you do have to have a coupon code to get the $67 price, and it is down here with the red arrow. It is Thrive23, because I want you to thrive and have an amazing year in 2023. So you can see the other areas pointing to where you will see on the screen that it asks you if you have a coupon code. They have it really small, so I know it's kind of hard to find, but you see that, you click on the down arrow and you'll type in Thrive23 and it will give you the $67 price. Okay, so if you are interested in this amazing system, then you can go to the sales page. Again, it's at the bottom of this slide. It's https://justclassical.com/thriving-at-home-school. Okay, so type that in, find the sales page, click on the button that says I want to thrive at home, and then you will find the coupon section. Enter the code Thrive23, and it will give you the sale price of $67. So after your payment has gone through, you'll receive an email confirmation, and voila, you will have access to the videos and the worksheets and the amazing Thriving at Home Homeschool Planner. And if just a note about the email confirmation, it says Just Classical, but you'll want to save that email so that you can log in again. That is one of the problems that I have the most with customer service, is people saying, I can't find my login. So it's under Just Classical. It says it's from Just Classical. But if you have problems, just email me and I will help you out. So, but again, you might want to create a folder where you save that email that confirms it. All right, so if you want to get started, then go to this email address. And now I would love to take questions. If you have any questions about the 7 steps to having an amazing year in 2023 or my Thriving at Home homeschool course. Thanks for joining me today on 7 steps to an amazing year in 2023. I'm Justina of Just Classical, and I hope to see you inside the course Thriving at Homeschool. Bye for now.